Hey, Anthony, congratulations on buying Smosh.
Kris left his wife and his child. They got a divorce over the transgenderism thing. Dude, go back to your family. You were born a man, you married a woman, you had a child with that woman, you have a responsibility to that child to represent masculinity to him for the rest of his life. And you can't do that when you're on hormone replacement therapy, you selfish piece of crap. Get over yourself. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Red Top Report. I'm your host, Joe Enders, and we're going to be reacting to more from the whole Mr. Beast fiasco. We're talking about Kris Tyson, not to be confused with Mike Tyson, who's actually a pretty masculine dude that knocks a bunch of people out.
That was Mike Tyson. Oh, the right hand!
But yeah, so Kris Tyson from Mr. Beast. We're talking about, I think, is he the biggest YouTuber? It's always flipping, but he's like either number one, number two, something like that.
I think most people would consider Mr. Beast the biggest YouTuber, yeah.
Yeah, I would consider him the biggest YouTuber too. I mean, they're dropping like $2 million a video or something like that.
One of their most recent ones was 10 million, yeah.
Was it 10 million?
10 million,
oh my gosh, that's an insane thing. So anyways, so Kris Tyson is kind of like a friend that's kind of been like a sidekick of Mr. Beast just throughout the years, like from the very beginning. I know you're probably a bigger fan of Mr. Beast than I am, but they've been working for a while. They've been working together for a long time.
Yeah, they've been together a long time, since the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, and so Kris decided to come out as trans, and there's like a lot of people that have been suspicious about it. Sneeko, who's actually hung out with Kris, and you know, I'm not a big fan of Sneeko. He blasphemed the Eucharist, but he's but he said that he's like Kris was like a masculine dude. Like he was like, you know, a southern good old boy. He was like doing all those other, you know, just all sorts of masculine activities, fishing, those sorts of things. He was a normal guy, but now he's coming out as like transgender, and they just recently released like his first big interview since that like transition period. And you have a clip from it, and it's pretty disturbing.
It won't sound perfect. It probably will get picked on a little bit, but that's kind of what I like doing, is showing people the the rawness of it. You ready for the voice?
I'm ready, if you are.
Oh, no.
Oh gosh. We might have to do a couple of takes.
That's fine, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Here it goes.
Sure.
Hey, Anthony, congratulations on buying Smosh.
Thank you. That was good. Thank you.
What I love about that is even the host couldn't contain his own laughter. He couldn't contain himself. Because it's so ridiculous. So what he's talking about earlier in the interview is just like how like, I guess he's been going through like these vocal lessons to try and learn how to talk like a girl, you know, because he's been on the human, what is it, the hormone replacement therapy for like, I think almost a year now.
Yeah, HRT.
Yeah, almost a year now, right? Something, it's close to it if it's not. He started on it in January. It started on in January, so I think it's like it's right around then.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and he was and yeah, so he's being trained to be this shows you how like synthetic, how disordered, how ridiculous the entire, you know, transgenderism movement is. And you know, we've harped on this quite a bit. Men can't be women. It's impossible. In the last video that we did, we flat out talked about that as well, where it's just like, yeah, there's like I'm gonna get a uterus transplant so I can get an abortion, and it's just like you can't do that. You can't do that. That's not possible. It's never happened before. So so yeah, there's also a little bit of drama, kind of going a little bit deeper into it too with Mr. Beast. There's like several videos of him looking like visibly uncomfortable around him and stuff like that.
Hey, nice shirt.
Thanks, dude. Nice shirt.
Thanks. Nice shirt.
Nice shoes.
Oh, wow, he's different.
There's alleged fake and fraudulent messages from Mr. Beast saying like, this is throwing my brand into chaos. Just be nice to this person. Don't, you know, Kris, be nice to Kris, who it's now spells with a K as well. It's kind of like, dude.
That's kind of gay.
Yeah, it's a little gay. But so you have all of that, you know, happening at once. And I kind of feel bad for Mr. Beast because I actually do think that Mr. Beast is probably more conservative minded. I know he went on to like a bunch of tweet rampages and stuff like that. I'm sitting so annoyed with this transphobia and all that other nonsense. You can put that up when he said that too. This is a dude who thinks that if he doesn't appease this, that his business is going to go completely under. And he's got a point. Like, he's going to get banned from YouTube if he were to say, I don't like this. He's going to get struck out. He's going to be called anti-LGBT. He's got a whole bunch of stuff to look forward to if things go wrong. So, best of luck to you, Mr. Beast. And a little cringe, Ronan, that this is all happening. It sucks. Oh, he left his wife. I'm sorry. I can't believe I forgot to say this. Chris left his wife and his child over that. They got a divorce over the transgenderism thing. That's another aspect of transgenderism. Holy cow. I can't believe I forgot to talk about this. Yeah, dude, go back to your family. Go back to your family. You were born a man. You married a woman. You had a child with that woman. You have a responsibility to that child to represent masculinity to him for the rest of his life. And you can't do that when you're on hormone replacement therapy, you selfish piece of crap. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. Okay, now we can go to the next thing. I had to get that out.
No, that was important. I mean, that's
the worst part of this whole thing. It really is the worst part.
Definitely.
Oh, is she talking about me?
You are setting an example for young women, and you're making them think that this is the way. And that's deeply irresponsible, by the way, and a little evil.
Pardon me, I'm just cracking open my morning bottle of champagne.
Because there's going to be a lot of young women that look up to you and they follow that path, and they're going to be awfully angry at you when they follow your advice, and they're sitting at 48 with their bottle of wine at 7 o'clock in the morning, lonely, while their friends are sitting around with their beautiful families, glowing with happiness and not, red-faced and puffy from too much wine that morning.
Listen up, Jedediah. I don't know if that's your real name or your sister wife name, but I have some downtime between my back-to-back champagne brunches this morning. According to Paul Dolan, who is a professor of behavioral science at the London School of Economics, which is a pretty good school, women who are single with no children are happiest. Dolan says that recent data...
Did she say economics? What does that have to do with happiness? What does he know about happiness? How is he measuring happiness? I can think of one way that he would probably be measuring happiness as an economist. Probably how much money is in the bank. Am I wrong to think that might be the case? Oh, and also, what a nonsense study. There's like 100 studies, or I don't know if there's 100, but I've seen countless studies talking about how women are less happy now than they have ever been, despite all these like
advances in feminism and women's rights and all that other nonsense
that they've been coming out with. And they all say women are less happy now than they've ever been. So I don't know, like she just cherry picked this study out of like nowhere. I mean, dude, you could do a compilation of how many studies there have been saying that women are less happy now. There's actually been studies trying to figure out why that was, even though we all know what it really is. It's because they're not getting married and having families, and they're lonely and miserable in their older years. And that's the other thing that they found, is that women get older, they get less happy as well. So there's all sorts of like studies about this specific subject. And she's like talking about, that's Chelsea Handler. So she's like supposedly like a comedian, even though like her humor is just so baseline cringe. Did you laugh? Was there anything funny there?
No, I mean, I actually kind of just like, I visibly winced when she said like she popped her champagne bottle and laughed. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, it's just so fake. It's not genuine. It's kind of hard to watch, because you know what? You know what it is? Well, I think we could admit this, because it's visible. It's visible. That's cope. It's cope. She is huffing copium, dude. She is huffing copium right now. And she's like,
I'm gonna take a break between my two bottles of wine.
So you're getting drunk all the time? Like, is that happiness? Like, you're really happy if you're like an alcoholic wine ant? That's not good. It's not good. I'm an alcoholic wine ant, a cat lady. That's bad. Anyways, let her continue. It's just like, this is ridiculous. She's like, totally coping.
Shows that long-established traditional symbols of success, like marriage and motherhood, do not necessarily correlate with happiness.
Pause. There it is. There it is. Traditional symbols of success did not necessarily correlate. So let's talk about some instances where it might not correlate. Is it better to be single and, enjoying your bottle of champagne as opposed to getting beaten by your husband every single night when you get home? I could buy that. Getting cheated on by your husband every other night by a woman that he fell in love with or left by that man or something like that. Yeah, that's probably better. Those are probably, so I'm guessing that's probably what he means by necessarily. The wording here, dude, it's so subversive. It's so subversive. When it's obviously the case that when women get married and have children, they're happier, especially happier in the long run. Actually, like I said, we have that study, dude. We have that study where it's like, as women get older, they get less happy when they're unmarried and childless. So, anyways, we can continue. That is so funny. Necessarily correlate.
Levels. And if you don't believe me, just ask this happily married mom of 4 how things are working out for her.
Pause. So can you go back to that real quick with like Lauren Boebert? That was Lauren Boebert, wasn't it? She's from Colorado.
Yeah, that was Lauren Boebert.
Yeah, she's from Colorado. And so Representative Lauren Boebert files for divorce. Yeah. Okay. So because she files for divorce, that means people are less happy in marriages than ever. It's like, no, maybe you just shouldn't get divorced because you're not supposed to get divorced. Church is against getting divorced. Divorce, as we've said before, is not real. When you make a covenant with God, what God hath brought together, let no man put asunder. That's straight from Scripture. People, that's straight from Scripture. And I know somebody's going to bring in that text that I believe is from the Gospel of Matthew, where he goes on about, well, in the cases of adultery, this, that, and the other. Jesus was talking about separation there, guys. And he was referring to an argument between the Pharisees and the Sadducees regarding when somebody could get divorced under Jewish law. There was never anything about remarriage there. There was nothing about remarriage there, guys. God was very clear when he said that. You are not allowed to get divorced if you're a Catholic. You can put up the catechism on that as well. So these sorts of things are so horribly misrepresented in this video. Like, because somebody got divorced, suddenly marriage is no longer valuable. This sort of nonsense is exactly why people got to this point where we have such a high divorce rate in the country, where families are being broken apart. And remember, there's like children involved almost all the time in these divorce proceedings, in these marriages. It's almost all the time that there's children involved, and they're the ones who suffer the most. We had a comment from somebody on one of our videos the other day who confided in the comments section. You know, I don't want to you can blur it out, but put up the comment section on that, where this guy just let it out about how he was the victim of a divorce, and it was very real to him, and he very much felt it. And, you know, once we presented our opinion, I mean, he was like, no, I do agree with you. Divorce is evil and it does have to go. Yeah, it hurts children. It hurts children. And what she's saying doesn't even create children. So she's saying because some people hurt their children by making the wrong decisions, that obviously means that you should be single and bring no children into the world at all whatsoever, which is entirely selfish and individualistic. So anyways.
I really thought those two were going to make it. I always heard that the couple who gives a town diarrhea together stays together. But apparently that's a no. Oh, and don't worry, Jedediah, this wine won't make me red or puffy. Since I don't have kids to pay for, I have extra money and I bought a hyperbaric chamber. So it's great for the skin, my circulation. So I can just drink and do as many drugs as I want, and then I come back in here and flip it and reverse it. Peace be unto you.
Oh, that was it? Okay, go.
Oh, look, I have extra money and I can buy things to make myself cope with my miserable and useless existence.
Congrats. Yeah, dude, this is cope. This is cope to the max. And you can see it too. She doesn't believe what she's saying. I think that's what's sad about it. And you can see it in her eyes. You can see it in her tone. It's all acted out. It's all scripted. It's all fake. Like, she is like trying to deal with the fact that she has completely failed. Her ovaries have dried up and she can never have a child again. That's the problem here. That's what she's doing. I mean, do you agree?
Yeah, that like sarcastic peace be unto you at the end too. Like, well, like, what was that? What was that?
Yeah, right. Do you really want peace to be upon?
No, it was sarcastic,
exactly,
obviously. It's
exactly.
like yeah, no, stop.
And it's fake sarcasm too, because what she's really mad about is that somebody telling her that, you know, you did waste your life. And it's like, yeah, you kind of did. Kind of did.
Oh, I've wasted my life.
So guys, we're going to end it on that note. You need to follow us on Instagram, and you need to follow us on X, because apparently Twitter's name is changed to X. Thanks for that one, Elon Musk. That's going to confuse everybody for a while, but it's probably for the better. I know he's trying to do like some weird app thing with that whole thing. And subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you always know when we're dropping new content. And guys, you already know what you need to do next. Don't give your money to Snow White. Don't give your money to feminism. You need to give us your money.
It's all been arranged just for us to get your money.
And you can give us your money by going to buymeacoffee.com. That's buymeacoffee.com. You can do a single donation, or you can do a monthly Joe for Joe donation for only $5 a month. And guys, click the link in the description if you want to do that. With that said, that's all we got for this episode. God bless.